Good afternoon, students. In the previous session, we had discussed about the macroeconomics, its definition, what are the difference between micro and macroeconomics, why its study is being important, what are its various importance, what is the difference between static and dynamic economics, national income, its importance. Today we will discuss about the national income concept. There are various terms which are being used in national income. The first one is gross domestic product, that is GDP. GDP is defined as an aggregate measure of production equal to the sum of gross values added of all resident institutional units engaged in production. GDP defined the aggregate measurement of production, and it is equal to the sum of gross values of all the organizations which are engaged in the production activities. The next is gross national product. It is the market value of all the product and services produced within an year by the labor and the property supplied by the citizen of the country. Personal income. What is personal income? It is the total money income received by the individual and household of a country from all possible sources before direct taxes. Whatever income which is being incurred by the individuals and households of a country, that is considered as a personal income. Per capita income. Per capita income of a country is being defined as the dividing of national income of the country by the total population of the country. Whatever the total population of the country is being divided by the national income of the country, which is equal to the per capita income of a country. The next question arises, how can we measure the national income? Production of goods and services generates income, and income give rise to the demand for the goods and services. Give demand rise to the expenditure, and expenditure give further rise to the production of the goods and services. So it can be said as a circular flow of production, income, and expenditure. The country entire economy is based on the income. So whatever the production of goods or services, it's quite obvious that it generates some income. And if there is a income, there will be a rise in the goods demand for the goods and services. And if the demand for the goods and services rise, it give rise to the expenditure. And expend if there is an expenditure, it helps to give the further rise to the production of goods and services. So there is a circular flow of income and expenditure, and on the basis of these flows, national income can be analyzed as the flow of goods and services, as the flow of income, as the flow of expenditure and goods and services. So national income can be analyzed, can be measured through these three interpretation, that is flow of goods and services, flow of incomes, flow of expenditure on goods and services. There is a term final product approach. It involves the estimation of the market value of final goods and services produced in the economy at a given period of time. There, when the final product is being ready and it is being further implemented to go for a market value which is being produced within an financial year, that is the final product approach. There are various steps in final product approach. The first is the market value of all the final goods and services produced within the country, which give the estimation of the GDP. GDP at which rate? Market price. The addition of net factor income from abroad in the GDP at market price, it give rise to the GNP. It is also at the market price. And the deduction of depreciation of GNP at the market price provides net national product at the market price. So the deduction of indirect taxes from national product at market price give net national product at factor cost. So these were the steps which involves final product approach. There in between the term comes double counting. When we calculate the national income through final product approach, considering the market value of final goods and services, the value of intermediate goods is not included. If it is considered, it involves double counting. Double counting means consideration of certain item more than once leads to overestimation of national income. When there is more and more rise in the certain item, it generally leads to the overestimation of national income. Means whatever we are expecting that this kind of national income will be occurred during the given period of time, it will exceed or can be deteriorate. So it create the problem of double income. The next method, first we had already discussed the final product approach. The next method is income method. It is the sum of all income derived from providing the factors of production, which includes wages and salary, rent, interest, profits within the country in a given year. Whatever income is being derived during the production time means through from the time of the supplying raw material to the finished good, whatever the income occurs, whatever the profit we are gaining, interest or rent, salary, wages, everything, these things include within a financial year, that comes under the income method, from which we can getting that source of income. It also has some steps. The first one is obtain net domestic product at factor cost by summing up factors payment paid in the form of wages, salary, rent, interest, and profit by all production units of all sectors of economy in the country. I hope you know there are three sectors of economy in a country. First is primary sector, second is secondary, and the third one is tertiary sector. Primary sector includes agriculture. Secondary, it includes all the activities which we do, that is your industry, production unit, etc. And the last is tertiary sector. Nowadays, our country or other country also much more focuses on this sector only. Basically, India is much more focusing on tertiary sector, that is considered as a service providing sector, where all types of service provided activities which has been done, it's get being influenced, it get being uplifted by the government. So obtain net domestic product at factor cost by summing up factors payment made in the form of wages and salary, rent, interest, and profit of all the production unit of the sector's country, from where we are getting an income. That is the first step of income method. And the next is adding the factor income from abroad in the net domestic product at factor cost to obtain national product at the factor cost or national income. The next is expenditure method. It measures income, national income, as aggregate of all the final expenditure on gross domestic product of an economy during an year. So it is the sum of expenditure made for final consumer goods and investment demand for the net export. The sum of total income is equal to the sum of final expenditure incurred on the consumption of goods. Consumption of goods always denoted by C, total income is denoted by Y, and the sum of investment of goods is denoted by I. So expenditure method can be calculated as Y is equal to C plus I, where Y interprets the sum of total income, C is the consumption of goods, and I is the and I is the investment goods. There are various factors which must be taken care during the expenditure. Expenditure on the second hand goods should be excluded because such expenditure on goods is not considered to be expenditure on the currently produced goods. Expenditure on the purchase of new or old shares or bond should be excluded. Why? Because there are no payments for the goods and services. Government expenditure in the form of transfer payment should be excluded because these payments do not make any contribution to the flow of goods or services. Expenditure on the intermediate of goods and services should be excluded. Why it is being excluded? Because it will lead to the problem of double counting. So there are various factors which should be taken care while doing expenditure method. There are various uses of national income. What are these various uses? The first is formulation of economic policy. As national income help us to analyze, evaluate the income incurred during the financial period of time. So through national income, we can easily analyze, we can easily formulate the basic economic policies which are being in, is being introduced or already being introduced by the country. Studying economic structure, we can easily know what are the basic financial activities, what is the basic structure of an economy. Intersectoral comparison. Intersectoral comparison means there are various sectors of an economy. So through national income, we can easily evaluate, we can easily analyze that which sector of an economy is much more better condition, which needs to be more attention. These things we can easily analyze. Indicator of income welfare. Through national income, we can analyze, we can evaluate, we can indicate that what is the present status of our economy, what is the basic requirement is which is being needed for our economy, how can we exaggerate the welfare of an economy, how can we improve the welfare of the economy. So it is considered as an indicator, economic indicator. Making international comparison. National income, what it shows the standard of living, that how much our citizen is being standardized, how much our country is being industrialized. These things we can easily compare from different other country, what kind of fiscal policies, what kind of economic policies they are using, and what policies are being used by us, whether our policy is much more fruitful for us or not, whether our economy is growing or not. We can easily compare, we can do the international comparison, means we can compare with the different other countries also. So this is all about the national income, its various methods which is used to calculate the national income, and what the various uses of national income which helps to improve our economy. We can also make our economy better. So thank you, students. In the next session, we will go through the other topics of national income. Okay, thank you.